Hey guys, Emily from Autofy here today to talk to you about the last successful sync time. Some of you may wonder what this date is on every single one of your steps. This date right here is your last successful sync time. And the way that Autofy works is that it picks up records that have been created or modified since this date. Now what that means is when I go to run a full sync, Autofy is going to look at my source object, so my opportunity, and it's going to look for any records that were created or modified since December 12th. And then it's going to run all of those records through our filters. So if I have a record that was created back on October 1st and has not been modified since, that will not get picked up in this sync. If you do need that record to sync over, of course, you can always run a single record sync. Now, when you do run a full sync and your sync is successful, then we update this last successful sync time to when that sync first started. So that way, if you do have records that were modified during the sync, they will get picked up in the next one. Something important to note is that if you have an error on the step of your sync, this timestamp will not advance. So if you do not have a successful sync, the timestamp does not move forward, it will stay put. So it's very important, especially if you run your sync on a schedule, to make sure that you're checking in to ensure that all of your records are syncing successfully. So what I'm going to do is I am going to run a sync on just my customers and my items. So I'm going to turn off my transaction sync here and go ahead and hit sync. We can see right here that our sync found 11 customers in QuickBooks that have been created or modified since my last successful sync time. And now it's picking them all up and it is syncing them over. And now it's finding our items and it is syncing those items over as well. So now when I refresh my page, we're going to see these timestamps advance. And here we go. Because my sync ran successfully, it automatically advanced this date. Now, if you want to push your timestamp back 2 weeks on any of your steps, you can do that. We do allow you to adjust this date just back 2 weeks, not any further back, because we do not support historical syncs. But if I wanted to pick up records from the 6th, I have the option to push that timestamp back. I can click undo if I've decided that I don't want that sync to run. But we're going to go ahead and run a full sync and see how our records do, see if our timestamps advance and if we have any errors. And we can see right here, we had an estimate that errored out. And so that means that our timestamp on our estimate step is not going to move forward. So I can click on dismiss, and I'm going to go ahead and refresh my page. And we can see that this timestamp did not move forward from what we had set it to last because we had some errors on that sync. Now, if I want to skip past those errors, I can move that timestamp up and I can always rerun this sync. So you do have the ability to move your timestamp up past that last successful sync time if you want to skip past those errors. And keep in mind too that you can always reprocess records from the status center, even if your timestamp has moved forward. And the sync did not find any eligible records because we just ran a sync and nothing was created or modified since our last successful sync time. Be sure that you hit the subscribe button down below so you can be notified of any new videos that we add. If you have questions, please reach out to us at support@getautofy.com.